This podcast contains strong language and adult themes. Listener's discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome to A Page Too Far, the show where each week one of us reads a book and tells the other all about it. I didn't think of names. My name is Rip Van Winkelstein, and with me as always is my co-host, the bro host.
Yo, what's up? It's the bro host. We coming in with a hot new book. Lay it on me, Mr. Winkelstein.
That's the same voice you used in the one outtake you did.
It's the
bro voice. It's the disc jockey voice.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even a bro voice. It's like it's just a hype man.
Yeah, it's high energy.
Yeah, that's about it.
I'm here for it.
How
are you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah.
Awesome.
I cleaned my house a little bit today.
Nice.
So that was nice.
Nice.
Yeah. There is something stinking in my kitchen, and I cannot find it.
Is it in the dishwasher?
No, that's what I thought. I thought it was dishwasher, garbage disposal, trash can, fridge. Like the closest I can narrow it down is my oven, but then I get really close to my oven, I can't smell it anymore. It's like hovering between my oven and my sink.
Interesting.
And the smell changes. One day it smelled like literal shit.
Ooh.
And then
behind the fridge?
Maybe I haven't pulled it out. I'll have to try that. But then other days it smells like just old dishes, like moldy dishes.
Yeah.
But I cleaned my kitchen. I don't know what it is.
Anything under the sink, like pipes or anything?
Yeah, but they're fine.
Yeah. That sucks. I didn't smell anything when I went in there, but I wasn't really paying attention.
That's good.
Yeah. I've been on a weird music kick, and I say weird, like my taste, as you've mentioned, is very eclectic.
Right.
But I've really been into like Motown R&B lately.
Yeah, I love R&B.
Like the Drifters, Four Top, Benny King. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's been my fancy this week. I read a book.
You don't say.
I did. This week, we are going to talk about Into the Dungeon.
Into the Dungeon.
Into the Dungeon.
That is a very boring, unassuming title.
Yes, it is written by Harry Connor with help from Felix Mile, Faye Stacy, and Letty Wilson. And it is published.
That's all the authors?
Authors and illustrators.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was the original author's name?
Harry, Hari, either Harry or Hari, Connor. Two first names.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. I'd also say, well, I don't. Is Wilson's a first name? Letty Wilson. That's also
it can
a first
be,
name.
Yeah.
And Faye Stacy. There's 3 out of the 4 people have 2 first names.
They're all fake.
Don't trust.
They're not real.
It's published by Andrews McNeil Publishing. I don't have a year. There's no year.
There's no year.
There's no year.
Is this a real book?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There is something that I forgot to mention though about the title.
Okay.
It's a choose your own adventure book.
Really?
Here.
Like a genuine choose your own adventure book?
Have a pad and paper.
Okay. I'm excited.
We're doing this. Now you have a couple of options here because this is a dungeon delving book.
Right.
This is a dungeon delving choose your own adventure book. You have stats.
Oh my God.
And I will be your you've been talking about wanting to play D&D.
Yeah, I haven't played in literal years.
This is kind of D&D-esque. I ran through it a couple times myself.
Okay.
Just to see, get an idea if it would be a good fit.
Do I get to choose a class?
It's oversimplified.
Oh, okay.
But it's not real D&D. It's very, very like, I mean, you're meant to be able to do this with just the book itself.
Right.
You know, you have the option of creating your own character and rolling stats.
Okay.
Or taking one of the 4 pre-gen characters. There are bonuses if you take the pre-gen characters because there's like resolution because they have actual quests written in.
Okay.
But it works just as well if you roll your own. You just don't get like the end. They have like pre-written out like if you did this, then you get this.
Interesting.
So it's up to you. I can kind of go through the characters if you want me to.
Sure.
There are 4.
Let's hear them.
Dalamiel the Singer.
Okay.
I'm not going to go through all their stats, but it's having fallen into gambling debt, Dalamiel seeks an easy path to riches and fortune. Low health, low strength, high dex, high charisma.
I like it. My type of character.
Locke the Scrapper. High health, low strength, high dex, high intelligence.
Okay.
Used to scraping a living however possible in the hardest parts of the city, Locke thinks the dungeon can be no worse than the workhouse or a life of thievery. Aenir the Soldier. High health, high strength, really high intelligence actually for some reason.
Huh.
Yeah. Low dex, low charisma. After being demoted for refusing to follow orders, Aenir looks to restore a once fearsome reputation and comfortable life.
Yawn.
Xenophon the Scholar.
It's not a real name.
No, it's not, but I love it. It starts with an X. Health, middle health, low strength, medium dex, high charisma, high intelligence.
Do they all have high intelligence?
No. Locke has relatively low and Dalamil has none.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Xenophon seeks knowledge, gold, and ancient magic, even in the darkest of places. Those are the 4 pre-gens.
Okay.
Or you can roll your own stats.
I'm gonna grab my dice.
Okay. You'll need D6s. That's it.
Okay.
I'm so excited for this. Like, he has no idea. I've been holding on to this idea for quite a while. Somebody kind of recommended it and thought it might be a good fit. And I couldn't find a book, so I just decided, you know what? This is the week. This is the week we're going to try this and see if it works. So I ran through it a couple times. I do have a second book if this goes really, really quickly, and that one's a lot more simple.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So you have strength, dex, charisma, intelligence. 4 stats. What you roll on these dice will be your score.
Okay.
It's not ability checks like D&D where you roll a D20 and add your modifier. This is, if your strength is this, then you do this, or if it's lower, then this happens.
Huh.
So it's a threshold.
So the option is open to me.
Right.
Depending on my stat.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's almost like a saving throw, really.
Right.
You make your choice, and then if your score meets the number that they want, then you do a thing, or something else happens. You roll 1d6 for each of those, and that is your score.
Okay.
I don't care if you roll your 4d6s and then assign them, or if you want to roll them in order.
Let's do an order. See what happens.
Okay.
So I'm doing strength first.
Strength first.
6.
Good sound. Nice. I don't think any of the pre-made characters have a 6 in anything, so you're already doing good. So this is dexterity.
Dexterity. It's a very slick table.
That's another 6.
6. This might be a boring story.
Yeah, maybe. It depends on your choices.
I'm going to give it a better shake this time.
I'm going to tell you something here. There are things where you can lose without stats.
Oh, just like
you
your
just
choice
make the
alone?
wrong choice.
Right. Okay, I have a 3 for charisma.
Yeah, that tracks.
Gonna get another 6 here.
This is intelligence. Oh my god.
I got another 6. I am OP as fuck.
Yeah, you are. 6, 6, 3, 6.
God damn.
Now for your health.
Okay.
It is a combined 3d6.
Okay.
So you roll it 3 times.
We're starting with a 1.
So less OP than you might be.
We got another 1.
You have 2 health and 1 more, so you have a maximum of 8.
Oh, okay. So 7.
7 health. 7 health.
7.
That is not
health.
the lowest. The Dalamil the singer has lower health.
Wow. Okay.
So you're a better version of Dalamil, except your charisma is garbage.
All right.
It's not garbage. It's actually middle of the road, but okay. What's your name?
My name is going to be Fomox Assback.
Fomox Assback. Let's dive in. We are at the entrance. This is the place. Here at the edge of the moors stand the last ruins of what was once a castle. Huge stone blocks trace out the rooms and spiral staircases crumble upward to nowhere. Moss and cow parsley and clover carpet the rooms and creep up the old walls. Everywhere but one last doorway. The stone arch stands intact and free of the ivy and lichen that coat the other stones, as if only the rain dare touch it. A well-trodden track winds through the ruins to the archway. I might use this for an actual D&D thing. Jeez.
That's pretty good.
A well-trodden track winds through the ruins to the archway, beyond which thick stone steps, bowed in the center from years of footfalls, descend. Bowed. Descend downward into a dark passage. You see footprints in the mud heading towards the passage, but none coming out.
Okay.
A cold rain begins to fall, the wind whipping it sideways and flattening the grass and clover in waves. You think you see a distant light somewhere in the dark of the passage, and suddenly, it seems terribly inviting. Determined, you take a breath and patter downward into the darkness. As you descend, the passage widens out into a room lit with faint, flickering torches. You are in the storeroom. You are standing in a storeroom full of sacks and boxes and the faint smell of rot, yet it seems not nearly so old as the castle above. A heavy wooden door set with gleaming brass bolts and inlays leads off to your left, and at the end of the room, another passage continues downward. What would you like to do?
Is it an option to look at the inside the containers?
You can search the storeroom.
I'd like to do that, yeah.
You find moldering supplies, several things best left behind. Bread rolls moldering in strange colors, scraps of hide, though from what animal you cannot fathom, and a single cracked skull. But in the corner of a dusty box, you do come across, you can add these to your inventory,
Okay.
a length of rope. Doesn't say how long.
It's kind of useless.
Well, no, it has very specific uses.
Okay.
Right, 'cause it's a book, right?
Right.
You know, you can use it at certain places or not.
Okay.
And a small bottle of sweet wine.
Oh, well, I'll certainly take the rope. It's by far the most useful item you could add to your inventory, I believe.
Okay. This does not really give you the option to not take the wine.
All right.
So you're taking both of those.
I guess I'll take both of them.
Now you have two options here. You can turn towards the door or continue downward. Turn towards the heavy door or continue down the stairs.
So I'm the type of guy, there's two ways to clear a dungeon.
Yeah.
You can either go down as far as you can.
And work backwards.
And then backward. But I'm more of the...
breach and clear.
Yeah, breach, exactly. Clear the room first, then move on to the next room.
Check your corners.
Check all the rooms on that level before heading to the next level. So I want to hit that heavy door.
Okay. You examine the heavy door. As you look closer, you see the brass patterns of the door are vines and ornaments that entwine upward into a central insignia you do not recognize. It's topped with a crown and surrounded by rich fruits and meats. You see no keyhole.
I say melon.
It does not open.
Oh, fuck. I'll push on the door.
A whir and a click. The door swings inward with an ease that doesn't seem to match its weight, and you hear a distant whir and click as a mechanism in the doorframe seems to activate. You instinctively pull backwards as a small wooden bolt shoots downward from a gap in the ceiling above. What is your dexterity score? It's really high.
It's 6.
You withdraw your hand just in time, and the bolt bounces harmlessly on the floor.
I don't know why I sound so disappointed. It's 6. It's the max.
The other option was the bolt grazes your arm and you take some damage, so probably good.
Okay.
In either case, you gingerly step through the doorway with rather more care, and after a few steps, see a grand bright stairway that curves away and upward. The stairs are carpeted and seem lit as if from torchlight, or a great chandelier above that you cannot see. On hearing nothing further, you begin to slowly climb the steps.
Okay.
You are at an empty hall. The stairs climb and climb until you think you must be above ground level. As you climb, a few doors lead off to your left and right, but all are locked fast and immovable. That's just a way of saying we don't feel like writing this.
Yeah. It's like, you don't want to go that way.
Just when you think the staircase must be endless, it opens into a great hall. There is a long table lined with benches and a high-backed chair of plush red velvet at the far end. The table is laden with foods of all kinds, venison, steaks, and suckling pigs on beds of greens and butter. Oh, that sounds good. Great pies. Oh, I've got some ground beef at home. Sorry, I'm hungry. And cakes and fishes and fruits, fresh eels and cheeses, bread pudding, jellies, and tarts. I don't know why there's women there. The food steams. It steams as if it's brought fresh from the kitchens, and new candles flicker in silver candlesticks, but the benches lie still and empty. Tapestries hang from the walls, and on the farthest wall above the chair is a portrait of a lordly man, fresh from a hunt. He's smiling benevolently from a magnificent horse. The bloody corpse of a prize deer at his feet. That was a tongue twister.
Okay.
The room is quiet and still and quite empty of people. You see no doors leading from the room. You can either approach the table or descend back down.
I'm going to descend back down. There's no good can come of eating strange food with no one around.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
You can die in there.
Okay.
Yep. The dark passage downward. You continue down the steps that lead away from the storeroom. So you're now back into the storeroom, and now you're going back down further.
Okay.
Noticing rubble here and there that must once have been doorways, now collapsed and impassable. The main stairway is mostly clear, but becomes darker and narrower as you go on. You find yourself feeling your way down the passage toward a distant light below. Suddenly, your foot hits the next step and finds studded metal that presses down with your weight. You pause, foot still on the strange step. Nothing seems to have happened yet.
All right, as soon as I lift my foot, something's going to happen.
Potentially. You have 3 options.
Okay.
You can lift your foot but wait before descending. You can continue walking as normal, or you can run down.
Oh my God. I can't just leave the bottle of wine sitting on the pressure plate.
No, that's a good idea, but no.
If I was smart, then I would let the plate up very cautiously while staying in place.
Okay, that's an option.
All right, because the way I'm thinking is that this sort of trap is made for you to keep walking at a normal pace.
And not notice it.
Right,
sure.
So anything triggering would not be in the area of that plate exactly.
Okay. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so we're going to lift your foot but wait before descending. As you step off the pressure plate, you hear something heavy thud somewhere far below. You wait, breath held on the stair above, as something thumps around for a long time before falling silent. You can do one of 2 things.
Okay.
You can continue down, treading again on the pressure plate, or you can continue down, carefully stepping over the pressure plate to avoid it.
Yeah, step over the plate.
Okay. As you continue downward, you hear a thumping and scraping coming from the room below, and rounding a corner, you see a sliver of light and glimpse a stone room lined with cages. The bars have been raised, leaving the doors open, and a huge beast paces the room.
Oh, fuck. If I hit the thing, it might have closed the whatever.
It does. That's another option I chose.
Okay, that's dumb.
You can see a door on the far side of the room leading further into the dungeon. You can focus on getting to the door, or you can decide to fight.
It's kind of hard to know what the character would do exactly because he was born, 10 minutes ago.
What's his motivation? What's he looking for in this dungeon? He's here for a reason.
Fomox Assback is looking for a scroll that would allow him to, once he cast the spell on the scroll, everyone would forget his name, and then he could pick whatever name he wanted.
Okay. So he's looking for a clean slate.
Exactly. Yep.
All right.
I mean, they won't forget him or what he's done, but they'll forget his name.
Yeah.
Everyone will just forget his name.
Sure.
So I think he would try to run past the beast.
Okay. What is your dexterity?
6.
You slip underneath the belly of the creature as its jaws crunch uselessly down in the space where you once stood. In the time it takes for the beast to turn its bulk to face the door, you've tried the handle and already slipped through, closing it behind you.
Thank God it wasn't locked.
The beast seems to claw and scrabble at the thick door behind you, but it cannot break through. You see now the door is reinforced with bars of iron. Breathing hard, you turn your attention to the next room. The room of doors.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I'm kind of picturing like Nightmare Before Christmas, like the forest.
Yeah. The Dorist of Fours.
Yes.
That's from something else, but I just love the name The Dorist of Fours.
I mean, it's great. It's great. The room is lit by wall-mounted torches burning with a strangely steady fire. You realize you could easily take a torch from one of the brackets and take it with you. However, to fight any monsters in the future, you would have to drop the torch and let it go out. So, do you take a torch or do you leave it alone?
I don't really see the downside in if I have to fight dropping the torch.
Yeah.
So I'll just take a torch.
Okay. You can add a torch to your pockets. You must remove it if at any point you draw a weapon to fight a monster.
Sure.
And it does remind you of that, so, it's not something you have to pay attention to.
Okay.
You notice 2 strange doors on each side of the long room, and a staircase that continues downward at the far end of the room. So, you have 4 doors, or you can go down the stairs.
Okay.
The doors are described as a blackened wooden door, an ornate golden door, a round metal door, or a tall plain door.
So, the logic of Fomox Asshat.
Yeah.
Assback. He's looking for a magical scroll.
Yeah.
What's the most magical, wizardly looking door? I would say the black door, right?
Blackened wooden door?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, I could see that. I could also see like the tall plain door because they want to describe. I don't know what's behind any of these.
Right.
I went down the stairs myself. I could also see it being disguised as just like a don't look here. This is the least conspicuous kind of door, like the tall plain wooden one. But it's if you want to go with the blackened wooden door, we can do that.
Yeah, let's go in the black wooden door.
The blackened wooden door creaks as you open it and leads into a room with a single torch illuminating it. The room seems more like a natural cave hewn out from the rock, with rough walls coated in algae and moss rather than stonework or bricks. You hear rushing water, and as you continue in and your eyes adjust, you see a little wooden boat tied up at the side of a steep, dangerous-looking river that rushes downward into the darkness below. The boat looks this is very Resident Evil Village.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah. The boat looks well enough made and has 2 small oars tucked away inside. As you approach, you notice a brown paper package at the bottom of the boat. It looks as if it's been there a very long time. Unwrapping the package, you find 10 gold pieces.
Woo!
Another length of rope.
Okay.
A warm cloak in the fashion of some 100 years ago.
Okay.
And as you lift the old cloak, a scrap of paper flutters down, and holding it up to the torchlight, you read in a scrawled message in faded ink, "Cayman, my dear, if you are reading this, the plan has worked, and you have finally escaped that cruel lord of the hall." I wonder who that was.
A hall monitor?
No, you were in a hall at once. "We shall be reunited again in a matter of hours, if you follow my instructions closely. This boat is woven through with enchantment, and shall weather this little steep current without faltering. When you reach the lower pool, row quickly ahead, and do not stop to look back. Do not stop to search around for treasures, no matter what you see beneath the water. It shall be far more dangerous than it is worth. Follow the channel out to sea, and there I shall find you, and we shall be away." The bottom of the boat and the package are coated in dust, and though you see there are runes running around the edge of the boat, they are greatly faded, as if many years have passed. You wonder what happened to Cayman. You can either take the boat or leave the room.
I see no reason to take the boat. That's an escape plan at best.
Okay.
I still haven't found a magical scroll, and I'm not going to leave.
That's true.
So I'm gonna go back on the hall.
Okay. Same room. So you have the ornate golden door, the round metal door, the tall plain door, or the staircase downward?
Can I do a history check on the ornate door?
The ornate golden door?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll a d20.
I don't have one.
Pick a number between 1 and 20.
17.
It's definitely well crafted. It is ornate and it is golden.
I'll go through the plain door, I guess.
Tall plain door. A simple lock. When you try the door, you find it locked. The door is of plain wood, not especially sturdy, and the lock seems simple. Your strength or intelligence are both above 6, right? Or above 5?
Yes.
Okay, you have the option. You can shove, kick, and shoulder the door until it breaks inward, or you can work a piece of wire in the keyhole until it clicks open.
I almost always select a character that has high intelligence or high charisma when I roleplay, so I'm going to use the intelligence route and pick it.
All right. The room you enter is much smaller than you expected, more of a cupboard with a broom propped against one wall and a single heavy sea chest and a dude in a dusty corner full of cobwebs. The lock in the chest looks broken open, and you could easily lift the lid. As you approach, you hear a faint hum from the inside. You throw back the lid of the chest and step backward, expecting some kind of trap or beast, but all that's inside the box are a few small items. The humming seems to be coming from a smooth black stone polished to a shine. The stone's strange crystalline humming grows louder as your hand draws near, then stops entirely as you touch it. It just tells you touch it, I guess.
Yeah, I would like it to ask my consent first.
I'm going to roll an Arcana check. You feel some kind of powerful energy emanating from the smooth stone and have a sense that it has a will of its own. Whether it's good or evil, you cannot tell. You can choose to pick up the smooth black stone or leave it be.
Fuck nah.
Are you picking it up or leaving it be?
No, leave it there.
Leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a milky opalescent hunk of rock, a small key that seems to be made of glass wrapped in velvet cloth.
I'll take it.
Okay. Oh, I guess it doesn't say that you have the option to pick those up. It just says that you get those. So you get the milky opalescent hunk of rock and the small key.
Okay.
You can leave the black stone.
Right.
Specifically. So you're leaving that one, but you get a milky opalescent hunk of rock and a small key made of glass wrapped in velvet.
Okay.
You stow them in your pockets before returning to the room of doors. There is an ornate golden door, a round metal door, or the staircase downwards.
Before I do any of that, I'm going to put the opalescent rock up my ass.
Okay.
Because I have to take a plane back to my own country after all this.
Yeah.
And that helps with like air sickness. So,
Yeah.
I do that.
I took all your jewelry and shoved it straight up my ass.
I know what I'm looking for is not actually in this story. So
I
like,
can amend it. It might be. It might be in there.
So it's weird with like motivation.
But you're still looking for it.
I am.
See, Asback doesn't know it's not here.
That's true. You're right. So I guess I'll look in the ornate golden door.
Ornate golden door. The golden door swings easily open to reveal a room decked out in fine clothes that line the wall. Cloths, not clothes, cloths.
Okay. Like tapestries and stuff.
Yeah. On the dusty carpet sits 2 chests of dark wood, a plush armchair, a bookcase with a mess of books spilled out on the floor, and a bed with high posts, dusty drapes, and a figure sitting upon it. The figure has long, tousled hair, a loose shirt, and fine, boned face that looks quite hopeless and dejected, until lifting their head at the sound of your footfalls. "Oh, traveler! Have you come to this place to finally free me of my bonds, or did you stumble upon it? It is no matter. Here is my tale. The Lord of the Hall set his sorcerers upon me, and bound me with a spell to this room, never to age and never to leave, for I
didn't ask.
She or he, I don't know, is telling you. I am Mihai, the prince, it's a he, and rightful ruler of these lands, or was once. He locked me away long ago so he could preside above, unquestioned. I see no days or nights here in this room and have here idled for perhaps 100 years or more. How do you know? I have long lost count, and adventurers are fewer and farther between. You have only to help me break my spell, and I reward you with all the riches of my kingdom." As the prince speaks, his voice lilts up and down as if reciting a poem, and you have the sense he has said this many times before, waiting here alone in this room.
That's great. No.
You feel uneasy, wary of what bargain may entail, and head back toward the door.
Thank you.
As you take your first step back toward the door, you hear the prince cry out, "What are you doing?" And when you take another, you hear a long scream that seems to ring in your ears over and over.
Oh, boy.
"No!" The prince lunges toward you. "I am the Senate." Face twisted in fury, a small knife drawn from his pocket. You can fight him or run.
I want to run, because I don't want to drop my torch.
Flee the room. Your strength or dex are 3 or above.
Both.
Cool. You block and dodge the prince as his knife stabs wildly at you, and you manage to push him backward into the room and run out the doorway. He comes towards you again, but seems trapped as if behind glass by the arch of the door, howling and spitting curses for a while. Eventually, he slides downward to the floor, weeping hopelessly. Perhaps it is confinement, or perhaps what it has driven him to. He speaks no more, and you turn your attention to the other doors of the room. There is the the round metal door or the staircase.
I think I'm going to skip that door because there's probably some like robotic hobbits in there or something.
Yeah, maybe.
It might be radioactive. So
Robobits?
Robobits. That'd be a great mix of halfling and Warforged.
Yeah.
A Robobit.
Yeah. So you want to go down the stairs?
Yeah, I want to go down the stairs.
Okay. The stairway downward is no longer neatly built stones, but rough and jagged as if hewn from the rock. You step carefully, descending for what seems like a long time. Once or twice, you find networks of rooms, which, upon searching, you find completely empty, as if already plundered. All are covered by a thick coating of dust, their only contents now broken shackles bolted to the walls and long-rotted chair. Finding nothing of interest and certainly no treasures, you go on down the central passage, eventually reaching a point where two rough-hewn corridors branch off to your left and right. Down the left corridor, you hear a chime and clink as if of bells. To the right, you think you can make out the sound of muffled sobs. Ahead, the main passage continues down. You have the left corridor to investigate the chiming noise, the right corridor, the sobbing, or downward.
Through which corridor does the air feel less foul?
Roll perception.
I got a 2.
You don't know.
Fuck. I'd like to investigate the sobbing.
The sobbing, okay.
Yep.
Curled in the corner, you think you can make out a child crying. If you are carrying a torch or have an intelligence of 5 or above.
By both.
Okay. You can look more closely, or you can return.
I like poke him with the torch. Yeah, I'd like to look more closely.
Okay. For a second, you think you see a slight ripple on what you assumed were the child's haunched legs. When you bend down to get a better look at their face, you sense something a little off, almost as if their eyes are in slightly the wrong place, as if pasted on slightly askew.
God damn it.
One of the sobs, now you are listening closely, has the strange edge of a gurgle to it. When you see another ripple along their arm, you step back, horror creeping into your mind. Something about their movements reminds you sickeningly of a snake poised to strike. Though you're not sure what you're looking at, one thing is certain. It is definitely not a child.
It's a fucking black-eyed kid. I hate those guys.
You can draw your weapon, determined to fight the horror, or return swiftly to the passageway.
Man, I'm getting the fuck out of there. Nah.
At the bottom of the passageway, the ground levels out into a rough-hewn ledge lit by the same strange, steady light of the torches you saw above.
I didn't get to go to the jingle passage?
You're in terror.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's a
status effect.
Yeah. It's the risk of investigating. You may miss something. You may you already have a torch, right?
Yes.
So you have the option to take it. You already have a torch.
Can I have one in each hand?
It doesn't say, so I'm going to say no.
Okay.
You see 2 doors ahead of you with patterns and studs of dark shining metal. At the center of the left door, there's a carving of a skull of some kind of antelope, but with horns you've never seen before. And at the center of the right door is carved a great flat skull, ridged and knobbled with rows of tiny teeth that is unfamiliar to you, perhaps maybe a kind of salamander. You can go through the door with the horn skull, or go through the door with the great ridged skull.
I'd rather face off against an antelope than an alligator, so we'll take that one.
Okay, the horn skull. Though there are occasional torches, the passage behind the door is low and not well lit, and you find yourself crouching to make your way through. Some way along, you see another small passage off to your left, dark, winding, and slightly foreboding, and under a torch, a skeleton bundled in rags. On the skeleton, you find and take a pouch of 15 gold pieces.
Hell yeah!
And a small note that you're able to read in your torchlight. Alder, if you are reading this note on my mangled corpse, then know that I have failed to find you, and your stupid, obscure riddles have been the death of me.
What the hell?
Yeah. Your mysterious instructions failed to lead me to the surprise that would let me escape the Lord once and for all, failing even to mention which door I had to take, unless my surprise was to be finding where the prince had been locked up all these years before he sweetly asked to cut my leg off, or that the Lord keeps an enormous dragon who burned my best cloak to a crisp. I'm betting that's what was behind the iron door.
God, oh, maybe, yeah.
In which case, I am thoroughly finished with you. I've had to rest here to tend to my wounds, and if you find me still breathing, insist you take me above ground and nurse me back to health, since this is all your fault. Cayman. A cold, dry wind seems to blow from the passageway to your left, and you find it strangely inviting. You do not have the smooth stone in your pocket, do you?
No.
Okay. You may take the passage to your left, or continue it onwards.
I'll continue onwards.
Okay. Eventually, the passage heads downward in a steep, narrow stairway carved from the rock. You wonder how far beneath the moor you must be, and whether you have traveled some way underground, or whether the dungeon abides by different arcane laws that govern the distances traveled. You have a torch.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a scurrying sound above, and realize the bright flame has drawn a flurry of beetles, moths, and spiders that drop from some crack in the ceiling above.
God damn it.
Some are a pale, translucent color and much larger than their counterparts in the world above. Many up to your knees.
Oh, what the fuck?
So this is the Kong Skull Island, like in the canyon. That scene was horrifying.
Still is, yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. What is your dexterity score?
6!
I just assume it's 6. Your charisma's low, right?
Yeah, God help me if I have a charisma check.
You haven't talked to anyone yet.
That's true, I haven't.
You're just like, nope. You are able to leap and dodge through the swarm and sprint down to the room below, still holding the torch without being followed. Far, far above you, you would have taken damage otherwise. Far, far above you, an opening, and you would have lost your torch, ringed with greenery lets in a shaft of daylight that casts a dim light over the wide cavern. Dust swirls in the air, and though an underground river rushes somewhere off to your left, the cave itself is cold and still. As you step forward, a small rock bounces off the toe of your boot and plops downward into what you now see as a dark pool of water that takes up most of the cave. Peering downward, you think you see something glistening deep, deep below, and a tunnel leading away beneath the water. The water is very clear, and it's hard to tell how far down the pool goes, but you think diving for long enough to explore would take some strength. At the far end, you see a small tunnel and hear the faint sound of wind blowing through and a hint of fresh air. You can toss the torch out over the water to try to get a quick, clear glimpse of what lies under the surface, or you can leave your heavy gold armor and cloak at the water's edge, so you would leave your cloak.
Okay.
And dive in to explore the pool. You can keep everything and dive in to explore the pool, or you can skirt around the pool and make your way down the tunnel.
I'm just gonna skirt around the pool. I don't know why I gotta be checking out this pool.
It does say you are ready to escape this place.
Oh, are you serious?
So if you skirt around the pool and make your way down the tunnel, you are ready to escape.
Oh my god.
It is a way out.
This is okay. Fuck it, I take off my cloak and I dive in.
You don't want to use your torch to...
Oh, I guess
that was an option. Because you're going to lose it either way.
Right. I'll toss it.
Okay. Thinking you have little use of it in the water, you throw the strange torch in a high arc out across the pool. It barely flickers as it flies through the air, the flame seeming to dance while giving out a steady, unwavering light. At first you see very little but the cave roof, then the torch plunges into the water and remains illuminated. The flame seeming to grow green and pale, and still burning as it sinks down into the water. You clearly see a dark box half hidden under the silt, deep at the bottom of the pool, and a tunnel extending away beneath the water to another cavern. At the bottom of the pool, you see cavefish skeletons, not rotted away from age, but eaten and torn into recently by sharp teeth, discarded with bits of white bloated flesh still attached. You back against the wall of the cave a little and see movement. A gaunt, finned creature a little larger than a person swimming down to the torch. They move their head from side to side, squinting at the bright light, then cautiously grab the handle, taking the torch with them back into the tunnel, until the light disappears.
I gotta say, they don't make torches like they used to.
No, they don't.
This is pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah. It's like the toaster that your grandparents have that just keeps chugging.
It's like, goddamn, I threw that torch away. That was the best torch ever made.
Yeah. There wasn't an option for you to keep it and continue, though.
Yeah, so, okay.
Yeah. In the torchlight, you saw their pale eyes swivel, the spines of their hands and points of their teeth, and wonder whether more creatures occupy the deeper cavern. You have the same 3 options. You can leave your cloak at the water's edge and dive in. You can keep your pockets full and your armor on and dive in, or you can skirt around the pool and make your way down.
Does my armor actually help? Like, is there a detriment to taking it off?
I don't know. I don't know if you would take more damage if you don't have your armor.
Yeah.
I don't know that. Maybe.
I probably don't have any way to breathe underwater.
The torch allegedly didn't.
God, I don't even know. I mean, I'm way too rational for this to be fun because I would just leave. But
you're very cautious.
Yeah, no, I would unless I really, really wanted to.
What's Aspak? Is Aspak cautious or is Aspak?
Dude, I don't know. I didn't actually give him a personality or anything.
This is your chance to decide. Do it or don't, pussy.
Aspak has heard tales of these fish people
Okay.
and their magics. He knows that they might not have this magical scroll, but they definitely know where he could find it.
There you go. So you keeping your armor on or not?
I'm taking that shit off
Okay.
because I don't want to appear hostile to them.
All right. Okay.
And also, I don't know if I'll drown or not. So
That's the question.
I'll just take the armor off and the cloak.
So yeah, you lose your cloak. The light grows slowly dimmer as you descend farther into the pool, and you find it much deeper than it appeared from above. I mean, of course. You will have less time than you thought to explore the bottom and realize you must choose between exploring the bottom of this pool or venturing further into the underwater tunnel. You can investigate the bottom where you saw something glinting, or you can continue on to the tunnel.
Something glinting, huh? Mm-hmm. I had a previous character who loved shiny things.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember hardcore metagaming.
Yeah.
And not playing my character.
Yeah, and killing mine in the process.
Yeah, and I totally would have died, but I was kind of a bitch. But no,
I lost Jet Re to you.
I know, I'm sorry. I don't even remember what my character's name was.
Couldn't tell you. He was a rogue though? I think he was a rogue.
He was a rogue. He was a rogue bard because he was an acrobat circus performer.
Yes.
Looking for his twin sister who had been sold off when they were kids.
That's right. I do remember that.
So I'll go for the glint. Why not?
Kicking the lock, the box springs open and reveals 40 gold pieces.
Okay, sweet.
And an ancient sword.
Nice. Do I ever get to use this glass key?
I mean, you have to find the right door.
I shove the glass key into my ass and turn it. And I'm like, ah!
Right next to the rock.
That was the door. Anyways.
You sheath and stow away the sword before kicking off from the bottom, heading back to the surface. Your strength is above a 3, so you reach the surface just as your head begins to spin from lack of air.
Oh, fuck.
And you emerge unharmed, pulling yourself up onto dry land. You take some time to recover, and the cold water seems to have taken root in your bones. Something about this place makes you uneasy, and after sitting for a while, you think you hear bubbles coming up from the deep below. Feeling a sudden urgency to move and wondering how long you've been down here, hours, days, you scramble up collecting your things and begin to make your way around the pool to the tunnel, wanting very much to see the sky again. Stooping and crawling through the tunnel, you follow the trickle of water that runs through it. The air begins to feel warmer and fresher in your lungs, and after a short while, you emerge into the bright daylight and on what you recognize as a rocky beach some miles from the archway where you first came in. Whether you are weighed down with treasures or horribly empty-handed, hardy in hail or bruised and bloody, stumbling out with less limbs and no inclination to go on adventuring again, you have emerged from the dungeon alive.
Woo!
Unsure of whether you spent hours or many days down below the surface, you stumble exhausted to a nearby town to find food and shelter and rest for a few days before continuing on to the city to survey what you have, which you've brought back with you, and whether you have found what you were looking for.
Found a badass sword.
You can sell the milky opalescent hunk of rock for 25 gold.
Oh shit, yeah, okay.
How much gold do you have?
I have 90 gold pieces.
So you are able to buy yourself a modest house and a fine suit of armor.
Jesus!
Or travel the world for some time. Though there are some times of hardship, the treasures you found in the dungeon see you well for many, many years.
Cool. I mean, the treasure was really easy to get. I could probably get some more later, so I'll travel the world.
The sword, I think, is something with Aenirs. The soldiers, the Aenirs.
Oh, that's right. They all have...
They're all looking for things.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The hall that you went into in the first place, that feast, if you investigate it, becomes rotten. And it's like diseased food, and the painting of the guy who's like magnanimous and generous turns into like a lord of rot.
Okay.
And if he offers you a bargain, and if you take the bargain, then the food turns back into delicious food and he becomes generous again, but you stay there forever.
Not much of a bargain.
So it's kind of like, hey, yo, I'll give you this food and like eternal life here only.
Oh, so like you could eat forever delicious food.
Yeah.
That's tempting.
But it's actually rot and it's cursed. But like you know, back in the back of your mind, you know that.
Yeah.
But like it tastes good.
I would say, give me a steak and a blue pill, because I'm in. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Other than that, I know I ended up leaving a few different ways.
Okay.
I didn't take the boat. Oh, no, I did take the boat. The boat leads out to sea and you're free.
Okay.
I played as the soldier and I ended up finding more ways to leave the dungeon or instantly die, quote unquote,
yeah,
than losing health.
Okay.
You would have lost like in all of you would have died because you had 7 health, but like I think in all of the encounters that you had, you could have lost a total of like 9 health.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how much further it goes. We didn't touch a lot because you could swim through the tunnel, and I don't know how much further
Oh my god.
the story actually goes. But yeah, I thought of this like somebody recommended one to me
Right.
and was like, I don't know if this would be a good idea for the show or not. And then it was just kind of sitting in the back of my mind, and I was having a really hard time finding a book this week.
Right.
Because I have a book, but I didn't realize it's in the middle of a series.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's
I've
in the
done
middle
that.
of a series where it doesn't tell you what's going on. It
Right.
just assumes you know. So I was like, oh, I don't know what's happening in this book.
Right. On the flip side, there's a fantasy series I really love. It's a trilogy called the Powder Mage Trilogy.
Yes.
And for some goddamn reason, the author writes as if you hadn't just read the previous book. So every
Yeah,
time a
yeah.
character comes up, he has
They're like,
to
"Here's this guy."
he has to re-explain his powers, and I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, this is the second book in your series. Like,
Yeah.
I know, I know.
Yeah. I like, there are books that do it with where like to recap some things, especially if they're books like fantasy books with a lot of characters. That's fine. But yeah, I don't like just reintroducing everybody
Right, right,
because it's a book series. It's not meant to be like, yes, there are going to be people who read the second one first,
right.
but that is not the norm.
Mm-hmm,
And that doesn't mean you have to tailor your experience for that.
I think from an author's perspective, it's like, well, my last book released like 5 years ago. I have to like refresh people.
True.
So
but like,
I get
books
that
are
mentality.
kind of timeless in that way.
Yeah. And it's like, well, if people are excited about your new book, they will read your first book to prep for that.
Yeah, or if they
you
don't,
know.
that's not your fault.
Right. Yeah. No, it's
theirs.
It's kind of weird.
If people forget a character, that's on them.
Yeah. But I love choose your own adventure books. And
See, this is the first one. Well, technically this is the second one because I did the other one first, but the first one that I've ever really done.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never had anything like this. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I would have loved this had I discovered it as like a 7-year-old.
Yeah. No, the original series had some really creative stories.
Mm-hmm.
There was a whole story about these hybrid creatures that were like half ant, half spider.
Ooh.
And they were really, really dangerous. And you basically just had to survive. And I died because I stuck one in my backpack, and then it chewed through the backpack and then into my body.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, some great ones.
We have a rating system on our show.
Yeah. You're doing it. You shouldn't be doing it. I should be doing it.
Well, that's what I'm asking you is do we want to do the rating system for this?
I think we could both agree this is hardcover.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing about this that I didn't like. It was cool. Maybe I mean anything I don't like is my own fault for not investigating more or like actually talking to people.
And you went into it without like you made your own character, and it was very clearly designed so that you
Right,
could
and
do that, but like you were also
It
super
was
OP.
really OP, yeah, obviously.
It didn't like your motivations were something that you came up with yourself, independent of the book. So the book, of
Mhm.
course, wasn't going to be able to fulfill all of them. But this is somebody writing an adventure and somebody else who has infinite possibilities in their brain
Mm-hmm.
going through it. So it's not going to be perfect.
All right.
But I think for what it was a lot of fun.
That was fun. Yeah.
Very, very good.
I'm gonna caps my hero story with this little bit. Instead of buying house and armor or traveling the world, Fomox Asback uses the gold to have his name legally changed
There you go.
by the federal government, which he should have done in the first place.
So what's his new name?
Kevin.
Okay.
Sure.
The one thing I did love about this book is the way, because like Choose Your Own Adventure books, it's like this happens, turn to this page.
Mm-hmm.
But I bought it through the Kindle app,
Right.
and it has
Quick links.
quick
You just-
links.
Yeah.
So you
okay.
just click on what you want to do, and it takes you to the appropriate page.
That's really
it was
nice.
fantastic.
That is nice.
So I didn't have to like flip through everything. It's like 150 pages, 100
Right.
pages. Do you want to hear what the if you had 150 gold pieces, what the end is?
Sure.
That's the most. It's the highest.
If I'd known that would have impacted the end, I totally would have tried finding more gold.
Yeah, yeah. But like that's not what you're about.
That's
and
true.
I think you're true to Kevin.
That's true. Thank you for honoring my new name.
I got you.
Asback was my slave name.
Yeah, yeah. Now what are your pronouns?
My pronouns?
Yeah. What are Kevin's pronouns? Is he a he him or is he a
Hitch Hotch.
hitch hotch? Okay.
Yeah.
So Hitch found 150 gold pieces. That's enough to buy a fine house and live comfortably for the rest of your days. Whether you choose to live in finery, provide for your family, or travel the world on further adventures, you want for nothing.
God, the gold isn't worth what it used to be.
No, it really isn't.
If you had 150 gold coins, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's not live your life without want.
Right,
money.
Exactly.
You could probably make some investments and be set up. But
this is like prospector
yeah.
levels of gold pieces.
Thanks for joining us on this adventure. You should check out our Patreon where there's many more adventures. We have, and we just did an episode about bees. Which, by the way, I did some research after editing that episode for the second fucking time. And that lady did get a lot right. Bees do get rid of corpses and other diseased bees. If there's a diseased bee, they will kill it and get rid of the corpse.
Oh, that's cool. Because you asked something in the beginning of the episode where, like, if there's a deformity or something, will the bees kill it? So that is something that they do.
Yeah, I'm not sure about deformity, but
at
for
least
disease and for corpses in general, the worker bees will get rid of it.
That's cool.
Bees do not have specific roles. They kind of do all the shit.
Right, and that's what the beekeeper said.
Right, and the only bees that have one role are male bees. They just mate with the queen. But here's a really interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
So in that story, she had eggs without mating, right?
Right.
They can do that. But they would only give birth to male bees.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like a way to ensure the population survives.
Kind of. Yeah, I'm not sure what the actual mechanic is there.
Because like, if no mating, then create way to mate.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. So like, so that confused the fuck out of me with like genes, because it's like you can't make a female without male shit, but you can make a male that'll make male shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how that works, but yeah, no. Queen bees are fertilized and make more female bees, but unfertilized eggs turn into male bees.
Interesting.
Yeah, super interesting. So there's stuff like that where it's like, yeah, she got some. So, well, I mean, that really had nothing to do with what she wrote.
Right. It happened, but
she had both male and female offspring.
Yeah.
But no, it's stuff like that where it's like, and the bees will just slaughter the males if they're low on resources.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, it makes sense.
They'll straight up murk the fuckers.
Huh.
So that's interesting.
Gonna ghost them. They're gonna make their souls filed for divorce. They're gonna hang on. I got more.
Okay.
They're gonna make them a hashtag. They're gonna put them out of commission. They're gonna make it so that their iPhones don't recognize them. They're gonna put their initials in someone's Twitter bio. They're gonna erase their name from the census. They're gonna turn them into a purse. They're gonna turn them into a statistic.
What the fuck?
They're gonna make them applesauce.
That one's pretty good.
They're gonna turn them into a CNN headline. They're going to give him the longest rest. They're going to make him past tense. They're going to evict his soul. They're going to make him pay more for life insurance. They're going to put him in God's recently deleted.
Oh my God.
That might be my favorite one. They're going to make him meet Batman's parents.
Oh.
They're going to depart him. They're going to make him sprout wings. They already have wings.
That one's kind of dumb.
It's like angels, right?
Where did that come from?
Couldn't tell you.
Because that is
it's not Christian.
No, it's in every like cartoon though.
Yeah.
It's like they die and become an angel, but that is in no way based in any theology.
Yeah.
Ever. So you can check out that episode on our Patreon. We have a new episode coming up that's all about the magic in the moon.
We haven't recorded that one yet, so I'm very curious.
We haven't, but I'm reading a book on moon magic.
Yeah.
And how you can harness that to benefit yourself. So,
nice. Do you create unicorns?
I have no idea if it has anything to do with unicorns or not. I'm excited though.
Yeah. I want more unicorns.
I know.
Does that person write anything else?
Yes, she has more unicorn books.
We should do one of those sometime just for
totally
for a fun thing.
She's got a lot of awesome books, so I definitely want to check that out. We also have outtakes, which are basically blooper reels that we throw together and put on our Patreon.
I love them.
We have footnotes, which are essentially just an extra long outtake. It's a tangent we go on that's like more than 10 minutes. So we throw those up there.
I got hurt in the last one.
You did. You broke your arm. And we talk all about that.
Yeah.
We also have movie commentaries. We do one every month. The last one we did was for Aragon.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Which was like actually a good time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The movie was fine. It wasn't great, but it was fine. But I had a lot of fun comparing it to the book.
Yeah. And
I just read the book.
So the other day, I was listening, or you were listing all of the commentaries we did, and there was one we couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Do you remember which one that is?
No.
Existenz.
Oh yeah.
We did.
Oh, that movie exists.
We did a commentary on Existenz, and I completely forgot about that.
Both
film.
of us did.
Yeah,
Had Willem Dafoe in it, and Jude Law, and that's really all I remember.
and you could check that one out as well.
We also did I Am Number 4, and that one, like, I think that one may go down in history as like the worst but the most fun.
Yeah, no, that was really fun to do a commentary.
Was a lot of fun, but that movie was terrible.
It was very forgettable.
Yeah, yeah. It was a better time than Avatar: The Last Airbender, though.
Yeah, that was miserable.
Yeah,
that was fucking miserable.
Yeah, we didn't like that one.
So check us out on YouTube. We upload there as well. If you're listening on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything.
Right,
it helps us.
It helps us out. We're trying to get a fucking direct link to our channel.
You're watching YouTube. You know how YouTube works.
And we need 100 subs to get a direct link.
We do. We're 53.
We're 53. Yeah, we're there.
Considering we're not advertising this anywhere, like
yeah, exactly. It's just
that's okay.
This is grassroots, motherfucker.
Exactly.
We're not paying for shit.
We're literally in a closet.
Yes, and just hoping something happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so check all that shit out. You can hit us up on socials, Instagram / a page too far, Twitter @ a page too far.
I do like you going back to YouTube. You changed all the thumbnails and everything. I do like the new ones a lot better. They look really
good. I used to have a channel that I put a lot of work into.
Yeah.
And then I hid all the videos because I was fucking embarrassed. But I looked back at those videos and they all had very high effort thumbnails on them.
Yeah, they're very good.
And I was like, why the hell not? Like, we need to have thumbnails. So I did all that. And I made all new graphics for everything. Mm-hmm. And yeah. But yeah, let us.
Twitch channel.
Yes, we have a Twitch channel.
Twitch.tv / a game too far.
A game too far.
GAME, too far.
A game too far.
We stream every Wednesday. We may do more, we may not. We're going through Moemon right now, which is a perfectly legitimate copy of Pokemon Emerald. I went overboard, my friend.
Yeah, you're telling me you leveled everything to 15.
Well, I leveled everything to 15, and then I caught everything we didn't have and leveled all of those to 15.
You named them all without me?
No.
No?
No, I didn't name them.
So just their regular names.
They're just their regular names, and there's a name raider in the game that you can change them at. And
exactly.
We'll do that.
Yes.
But we aren't to him yet.
Okay. Okay. I'm looking forward to it. So join us there if you can.
Yeah.
Hashtag Bobo dies. No, that's blasphemy.
Hashtag Bobo escapes the dungeon.
Yeah. But for real, hashtag Bobo lives.
Yeah.
This blasphemous otherwise.
Hashtag choose your own adventure.
That's already a very popular hashtag, though.
Is it popular?
Yes. The choose your own adventure is still a thing. Rip Van Winklestein.
Yes.
You are sitting in an enclosed space. The temperature is high enough that it makes you uncomfortable, but you are in no harm at present. Mm-hmm. You see but one door out of this box of a claustrophobic space. Do you A, open the unlocked door and leave, or B, sit in the space and record 5 more episodes?
I gotta leave.
Okay, yeah, let's get out of here.
Gotta go.
I came to see what was taking so long to snatch some parts, and you simps are held up by a mere child.
That has to be an edit.
That
has to be an edit.
I don't know what I guess.